Anyway, like I say, there's a lot of things that are misrepresented too. I built the symphony orchestra building. Like that was my building actually. And what had happened is normally we have planes in the air circling overhead and flying, and defending it basically during, because it's the only time that when anybody can gather. If it during the war, when we were losing Germany, they were slowly gaining ground. So, but we still kept the symphony orchestra going as long as we could, and so did they. Um, so so basically we kept planes flying overhead, but like I say, they shot down the planes and basically bombed the building. Um, Only three of the orchestra people. There's more than one orchestra that played there though. It wasn't just one orchestra. It was very much kind of like a school almost, and they bombed it, and basically they killed all but three of one group, and which were sick or out, basically, and they hit it, and on later on the next day, in the rubble, those guys were maybe it was more than that. It was like a third of the orchestra lived and the other third didn't, and and because some of them were practicing when the bomb fell, and and then they hit it, and the next day they were out there. They played. They actually played through the battle because I don't know, they were grief stricken or something like that. Like we were losing. It was just before. It was like a day or two before the battle. So they were actually playing, and they were just like, fuck this. And like I said, they said they actually played. They were just like, go ahead and shoot us. All their friends were dead. They had grown up with the orchestras. The orchestras in those days, they grew up together. They were best friends. They knew each other. They even fought in battle together or whatever. They were like, it was like the orchestra was like their family. So those 25 guys or so, or people, they had just lost their family in that one bomb attack. So they were just like, fuck it. And they played until the fighting got close enough, and then they pulled out their guns and went into battle in suits and everything. They even said that one guy even he got ran out of ammo. He took an instrument, went over someone else, because it's like, fuck you. We had something nice, and now you're just gonna destroy it. So anyway, yeah, because I funded them. It was my building, my school, and they were just destroying all they could. And it wasn't the Germans. The Germans never bombed their own city. No, we bombed the city as we fell back. Yes, but no, it wasn't. It wasn't whatever. And it was me leading them. We were getting the women and children out, like I say, into Poland, and then over to America, and and the fight, it was intense. There's tanks everywhere and stuff like that. I mean, it was full on. It was full on. Black. They had some tanks. Actually, I forget what they had exactly. I mean, I wasn't really there for a lot of it too. Like that was basically, I was out of it. At that point in time, they had won pretty much. Like I say, when battle plans start going wrong, when you start actually losing, like you're out of the fight. If you're when you're a general, it's chaos. You know, Technically, my people had already evacuated and were scattering anyway. Like the symphony orchestra just played. They said the whole city was deserted. There's no one there. They just played to put up a good show. There's just a bunch of guys there, and they were going to defend the city as long as they could, and then fall back. So I think because 2 days or 3 days before that picture of the line of people going out of Germany, because they were just bombing any. If they saw a grouping of people, they would just bomb them. So anyway, like I said, it was the worst day of my life, really. I'd lost my city. I just lost my beautiful Germany that day. And so I was crying. They had won. They had won. And they destroyed my beautiful city. So anyway, though, but well, as they say, the show must go on, and it wasn't over yet. They only took out one city. And I had a backup plan. America. Like I say, about 3 or 4 years beforehand, when Spain was getting bad, I was like, well, we're gonna have to evacuate the city, and because we had suffered a couple really bad defeats, and we were losing. Like, I won't joke about it, we were losing. Um, so, like, our only hope, and we had known, we had suspected it beforehand. What our only hope was basically, um, my people spread out, and we try and get a foothold into America, and basically maybe come back with reinforcements. Like, I had planned it out like 2 or 3 years or 4 years beforehand. So, like I say, probably about maybe 5 years beforehand, before we actually fell. Like I said, the battle was already bad, and I had already decided. I was like, it's only a matter of time. We're gonna get lazy. They're gonna come in here. They're gonna kill us. So we need to get out of here. So like Renault and everyone, like, we had already lost Paris once, and we had rebuilt it. But it's like, when the fighting started, it's like, we're gonna lose the city again. It's just too massive of an area. There's all that land and all those people, and it's just too easy for them to get 5 million people running this way. And we don't have 5 million bullets. So, we're dead. It's only a matter of time. So I was like, yeah, this place is too big. I kept some bases up in Russia, because it's like the cold should get them. The cold is really hard. Even a seasoned tank commander in the cold winter can't maneuver that well. So I was like, okay, we'll fall back to the cold. The people that can get up there, will fall back to the bases with the cold. And that was the plan. Like those who could go would fall back to the cold areas and get up in there, because once you're up in cold, then getting to you is a bitch. But going too cold, it's easy to go to cold weather and stuff. And like I say, 2 times out of the year, that place is smush. Nobody could get through Russia to like half the year or whatever. When it's summertime, you cannot go through Russia, or at least back then. Except for by my my railways, or my roads. Those were the only two ways. You try to drive in the field, it's just like, and you're stuck, and it's over. And then when it's snowing and it's cold, it's like, bloop. It's like snow everywhere. Like, you can't, like basically getting into Russia quite a few times of the years, except for a couple times when it's starting to thaw or whatever. It's basically impossible. So Russia's a really hard place to go. So I was like, all right, well, we'll go to Russia, because it's hard to get up there, and once we're up there, it'll be hard to dig us out. And then I was like, in America, I was just falling back, basically. I was working on my backup plan. I had lost, basically. So, Hail Mary pass, as they say. Which, like I said, in Mexico, I think, decided to go ahead and help me, because, I'd helped them, so they were going to help me, because I had gotten them out of Spain, and they were like, we live because of you. And it's like, thanks, I know. Because I evacuated all of Spain. The whole thing, I was like, we have to evacuate it. So, some went out by boat to America and this way, and the rest of them continued on up into Germany. I was like, well, we're going to have to make room for you. And that's just the way it was. So, because I wasn't going to tell them that they had to die in Spain. Like, yeah, I'm an epic creator and an epic general, and yeah, you're just going to have to die because, I'm too lazy to let you in the gates. It's like, no, we evacuate. Those in Spain came up, and I was like, well, I guess you're our friends now. So they evacuated up, and we evacuated as many on the ships. But we could, you're talking about like 500,000 people, or a couple million people. Like, only so many, like, moving 500,000 people on ships is nearly impossible. There were lines of ships just carrying people across the ocean, and then like, where are you going to put them once you get there? And we only had so many tents, so people had to be out in the cold, and they were like almost freezing to death, huddling for warmth, because these people were going to rush the city any day now. So, like I said, they didn't have so many aircrafts, and we could sneak them out on the ships. So, anyway, it's a lot of stuff that happened.